Life in the UK, Exam 15.
Which two languages were used across England during the Middle Ages? Welsh, Gaelic, Norman French, or Anglo-Saxon? The correct answer is Norman French and Anglo-Saxon. In 1776, which British colonies declared their independence because they demanded that there should be no taxation without representation? North African, Asian, North American, or South African? The correct answer is in 1776, 13 American colonies declared their independence, stating that people had a right to establish their own governments. When was England ruled by a republic and not by a monarch? When Elizabeth I died without any successor? When Charles I was executed?
When the Magna Carta restricted the king's power?
Or when King Harold died after the Battle of Hastings? The correct answer is when Charles I was executed, England declared itself a republic called the Commonwealth. It no longer had a monarch. Which film produced in the UK was one of the most commercially successful films of all time and one of the highest-grossing film franchises? Harry Potter, Spider-Man, The Lord of the Rings, or Indiana Jones? The correct answer is some of the most commercially successful films of all time, including the two highest-grossing film franchises, Harry Potter and James Bond, have been produced in the UK. When did the first farmers come to Britain? 10,000 years ago? 6,000 years ago? 15,000 years ago? Or 2,000 years ago? The correct answer is
first farmers arrived in Britain 6,000 years ago.
When did the First World War end? At 12 p.m. on the 11th of November 1914, at 12 p.m. on the 11th of November 1918, at 11 a.m. on the 11th of November 1914, or at 11 a.m. on the 11th of November 1918? The correct answer is
the First World War ended at 11 a.m. on 11th of November 1918 with victory for Britain and its allies.
Can court orders be obtained to protect a person from being forced into a marriage? Yes or no? The correct answer is
court orders can be obtained to protect a person from being forced into a marriage or to protect a person in a forced marriage.
What medal did Mary Peters win in the 1972 Olympics? She did not win any medals, silver, gold, or bronze. The correct answer is
born in Manchester, Mary Peters moved to Northern Ireland as a child. She was a talented athlete who won an Olympic gold medal in the pentathlon in 1972.
In England, Wales and Northern Ireland, youth court cases are normally heard by, choose two answers, up to 3 specially trained magistrates, a district judge, a sheriff, or up to 5 specially trained magistrates. The correct answer is
in England, Wales and Northern Ireland, if an accused person is aged 10 to 17, the case is normally heard in a youth court in front of up to 3 specially trained magistrates or a district judge.
What was invented by Alan Turing in the 1930s? The jet engine, the television, the Turing machine, or the ball pen? The correct answer is Alan Turing invented the Turing machine in the 1930s. Which of the following tells us about how people lived in England just after the Norman conquest? The Domesday Book, the Book of Common Prayer, the Canterbury Tales, or
the Magna Carta.
the correct answer is
William sent people all over England to draw up lists of all the towns and villages. The people who lived there, who owned the land, and what animals they owned were also listed. This was called the Domesday Book. It still exists today and gives a picture of society in England just after the Norman Conquest.
Who led a team of scientists to split the atom for the first time? Alexander Fleming, Alan Turing, Ernest Rutherford, or Sir Peter Mansfield? The correct answer is scientists led by Ernest Rutherford, working at Manchester and then Cambridge University, were the first to split the atom and took part in the Manhattan Project in the United States, which developed the atomic bomb. What song is sung by people in the UK and other countries when they are celebrating the New Year? Auld Lang Syne, the British anthem, Jingle Bells, or White Christmas? The correct answer is
the song Auld Lang Syne, which is sung by people in the UK and other countries when they are celebrating the New Year, or Hogmanay as it is called in Scotland.
Who fought in the English Civil War of 1642? The House of York and the House of Lancaster, the Anglo-Saxons and the Vikings, the Cavaliers and the Roundheads, or the House of Fraser and the House of Stuart? The correct answer is
the Civil War between the King and Parliament began in 1642. The country split into those who supported the King, the Cavaliers, and those who supported Parliament, the Roundheads.
Which two of these forts were part of Hadrian's Wall? Vindolanda, Maiden Castle, Housesteads, or Grimsby? The correct answer is
parts of Hadrian's Wall include the forts of Housesteads and Vindolanda.
What was the religion of the Puritans? Hindi, Catholic, Sikh, or Protestant? The correct answer is the Puritans were a group of Protestants who advocated strict and simple religious doctrine and worship. What is the name of Irish people who favoured complete independence from the UK in the 19th century? Fenians, Quakers, Highlanders, or Suffragettes? The correct answer is the Irish nationalist movement had grown strongly through the 19th century. Some, such as the Fenians, favoured complete independence. Which two British pop music groups were famous during the swinging 60s? The Rolling Stones, the Beatles, ABBA, or Radiohead? The correct answer is
the decade of the 1960s was a period of significant social change. It was known as the swinging 60s. There was growth in British fashion, cinema, and popular music. Two well-known pop music groups at the time were the Beatles and the Rolling Stones.
What is the minimum age required to drive a motorcycle? 16 years old, 17 years old, 18 years old, or 21 years old? The correct answer is in the UK, you must be at least 17 years old to drive a car or motorcycle. The members of the House of Lords, known as peers, are elected by the people. True or false? The correct answer is the members of the House of Lords, known as peers, are not elected by the people. When did the Emancipation Act abolish slavery throughout the British Empire? 1835, 1823, 1807, or 1833? The correct answer is
in 1833, the Emancipation Act abolished slavery throughout the British Empire.
Who is responsible for crime, policing and immigration? The Chancellor of the Exchequer, the Foreign Secretary, the Speaker, or the Home Secretary? The correct answer is
the Home Secretary is responsible for crime, policing and immigration.
What kind of genre was the film Wallace and Gromit created by Nick Park? A soap opera, a silent movie, an animated film, or an action film? The correct answer is Nick Park won 4 Oscars for his animated films, including 3 for films featuring Wallace and Gromit. Anyone who is violent towards their partner, whether they are a man or a woman, married or living together, can be prosecuted. True or false? The correct answer is
anyone who is violent towards their partner, whether they are a man or a woman, married or living together, can be prosecuted.
If you liked this video or have any questions, please comment below. For more videos like this, you can subscribe to this channel. Good luck with your test.
First farmers arrived in Britain 6,000 years ago.